What's up, DBS fam? Eddie Sandler coming at you with a long anticipated deck profile for my Sun Gohan build. As y'all know, I played this deck before. I just love it because if you're not playing yellow, you should really have a easy time playing against your opponent because yellow, that release from evil, yeah, it kind of hurts. You can play around it, but it kind of hurts that you have to play around it and you can't just do what you want to do. But besides that, like going against black like with Jax, going against anything that's not pretty much yellow, it's easy. It's easier. Let me not say it's easy. It's easier than it would be. So green Gohan later, as you all know. Well, let me explain this because a lot of my opponents were confused too when I did this. So when you use auto, right, you can choose up to 1 or 2 cards or 0 cards. Like you don't have to use the auto because a lot of guys are saying, are you gonna take a life? Are you gonna take 2 life? And not only that, when you use your auto for this leader, if you want to take 2 cards, it's fine. You can pick them up one at a time. You don't need to say I'm gonna take 2. You don't need to announce it. Like you can pick it up 1, look at it, and then 2. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you guys do that because it does come in handy a lot. Backside, fun side, kill side, baby. This is why we play this because it goes in pretty much. It's broken. How you want to do this is you want to make sure by the time you take your life and you're at 3, so you can awaken, you want to make sure you're already in active mode, right? So that attack goes through, you awaken because they say no counters. You take your life, you go to 3, you awaken, you untap 1, draw 2, and then you crit a life, and then you just it's bad from there because this guy's gonna gain an extra 10k boost, so he'll be base 25k triple strike for the turn, and 1 feat makes it base 40, and then I'll show you the package that we go into. But this is the reason why you're on it, because there's activate battle. It's just insanely good. And of course you have the activate main, just restand it, and you better win that turn because if you don't, game's over. So going on to the first 3 cards, these are what you mull for. I'll try to give you a step-by-step play of how I do it. So if these 3 cards are not in your hand, just throw them back in your deck because there's obviously other cards too that will be common sense when you see it, but these are the 3 staple cards you're looking for. This right here, if your opponent tries to just aggro you, they're going to lose hand advantage as well as that attack. Cells Kamehameha too, like I said, you just want to rip their hand because there's no point in my opinion of using Paragus if they don't have super combos, especially like this game. This game gets so weird numbers on because everyone's playing a lot of these, the yellow IARs, they're playing the blue one, so I like just ripping their hand and knowing, hey, the best case scenario is they play a super combo that draws them a card, so they have to play another one that draws them another card. They would have to draw pretty much God tier. So if you rip their hand, it's pretty easy to just make sure that damage goes through. And of course your feat's the one that gives them critical, so when it's at triple strike, it's critical, so they're not going to see those 3 cards. The biggest thing on feat against Invoker, right? Don't use feat against Invoker. If you use feat against Invoker and they take the damage, their D-Magics are going to be live. That's the biggest thing. Invoker players are just, are you not going to feat me? I'm like, no, why would I feat you? Because don't forget, Invoker players, you give them 3 cards, you're probably going to give them 3 extra cards, right? You're following me? So the only real thing they have in their hand if they're tapped is D-Magic. So if you put 3 in their drop, they're going to D-Magic and it's going to be your time. So against Invoker players, please, don't use this. You'll get wrecked. You'll wreck yourself. Just try to rip their hand. Hopefully get the D-Magics, the Roshis, and that's it from there, man. So these 3 cards are what you want to see opening hand. Going on to your next 3 cards are going to be the Self-Awakeners. So this is pretty much the red sand combo. You attack, take a life, it gains an extra 10k. So it goes to 15k double strike base. Same with Gohan. The only difference is it goes to 15k single strike critical. And if you don't want to attack, but you just want to make sure you gain advantage, the Frieza helps you take a life. Another thing with the Frieza too, because a lot of people were questioning me, when you play the Frieza, you do not have to take the life. Because sometimes you just want to play the Frieza just to get an attack off at the Unison. Because a lot of the Unisons, just some free chicken for you guys, those free counterplays only apply if they have 2 or more markers. So if you're able to knock off a marker and leave them at 1, a lot of those free counterplays don't work. So sometimes you just want to play, and no, you do not have to take a life. Same thing with all these 2. Like when you attack with them, you don't have to take a life. And I'll show you why. It's really, really pivotal because of the next card I'm going to show you guys. This is my utility card. The Sun Goten Delusion Power. So pretty much, I'm running all 3 battle cards besides my overwhelm, right? This is a free super combo for them because this gives them 10k power. So when I'm attacking with the Frieza or the Gohan that I don't use my auto, they ask, you didn't use your auto, so what are you doing? this is what I'm doing. Probably gonna drop one or two of these bad boys, and then drop a double strike behind them. So it gets you in odd numbers, especially if they don't have, let's say, really much of a hand or a drop, and you want to get them to one to make sure their sparking and gates are off because they're tapped. Just drop a double strike, leave them at one, and you go for a game. So moving into filler cards, I play the Yamchas and Urgent Aid Kami. So you these go back in deck, right? But obviously, if you see a starter coup, if you see something that just untaps energy, you want to hold on to this because this, if your opponent untaps, let's say they use Sensu Bean a lot, just use this bad boy. Because even if it's not in play, right, in the battle area, the fact that you played it, it just lingers. And not only that, these things stack. So if I use two of this, and my opponent on their turn uses Sensu Bean to untap one, they have to warp 10. Yes, 10 from their drop area if they do it. This is really for Sardaku. Surprised I didn't see any Sardakus. But it's just kill Sardaku because you can't untap guys. So yeah, this can't really hit Sardaku unless they use Beam. They use their leader ability. Kami will just take the energy and throw it to the drop. More filtered through cards through deck, because deck thing is deck winning, is going to be the Bardox. You got to play 4 Bardox. This has unbroken my hand so many times. Because like I said, these are the only cards you want to hold on to, right? These are the only cards you want to hold on to in your opening hand. So if you're putting everything back and sometimes your hand is just mixed matchy and like, damn, you really want to push? Because you really don't want to push unless you have these. Because once you start having these and this, feet becomes, because their hand becomes so little, you can give them the combo power. Like you can say, okay, I'll take you on a challenge, especially if you're not playing super combos that draw cards. Because feet is nice, it pretty much guarantees you in, but these are really beats your opponent because they're taking all that damage, and it's like they're screwed if they do, they're screwed if they don't. Because if they out combo it, it's like, okay, cool, you out combo, then you have no hand. But if they don't out combo it, it's like, well, damn, you're gonna take the damage, but I rip your hand so much it's low. Like you're not gonna be able to stop the next oncoming attack. Especially if you do the math correctly and you look at their drop. I can't specify how important it is to have situational awareness when you play this deck. You have to know how many is in their drop, what color they're playing, because those negates are free. The best one is when you're going against green and they try to dormant potential. It's like, bro, this is about to be free. Because if they dormant potential, you're right. It's another reason why another circumstance where you wouldn't use feet. If they dormant potential, they're going to have at least a minimum of 2 in their drop. And if they're tapped, they're screwed. Because if they have dormant potential and they pitch one so you have one more attack pretty much, don't forget, guys, dormant potential does not negate the first attack. So if they do that, I usually wouldn't use feet because I'd say, okay, cool. I'd start just ripping their hand with Android 18, guys. Android 18, rip their hand because it does not go to drop. So they're put in an awkward situation. It's like they know they cannot combo me. So I of course I have comboed Android 18 and a bunch of other cards too that are not feet and cells because you don't want to put things in a drop for the spark and negate such as Shocking Death Ball. So they're put in an awkward position where it's like, damn, should I just randomly throw 3 cards in there and then take the damage? And if they do that, it's kind of they're baiting you. Like maybe they have, maybe they don't have. They do that, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna go for it this turn because if they try to crack you back, you just rip their hands with cell, right? So it's really good because this bottlenecks, and I can't stress the important that it does not discard it. So their sparking is pretty much dead. And then the next one, I just attack with something else. Like it's really simple to play around dormant potential, in my opinion. But the low-key MVP of the weekend was Belmont. This guy has saved me through so many games. Like I said, guys, background of this deck, I chose it to play for the Gamerz because I was playing in 2 events at once. This single-handed me won for a fact 2 of the 3 or the 4 PPG matches that I won. One was against Regex. This guy was like, okay, he had a Trunks on board. Obviously, he had no negates because I was ripping his hand. He had, I forgot what he had. I think he had a Bibbidi, but the thing about Bibbidi going against his deck, it's so low because you're aggro. Bibbidi's like majority of the time going to be like a 9K combo because you just go at them too fast. You don't have enough time to mill, right? So they have a Trunks on board, and like I said, you have fillers. The Bardock is going to guarantee that you have at least 2 guys on board. So all you do is you free play Belmont, you pop the blocker, and then you go for game. I've caught at least 2 opponents right before I had to like leave my round because the next round game was just starting, and this literally just won me the game because it allowed me to just attack with Gohan without worrying about the blocker. So Belmont, guys, is essential at 4 in my opinion in this deck. So let me give you guys the quick overview of the deck real quick. Starting from bottom to top. Shout out for Gamerz for an amazing mat. If you guys want this mat, Just leave it in the comment section below. Leave like a comment of your favorite Team Full story. I'll let my wife pick out the winner, and you'll pretty much get it for free. All you have to do is pay for shipping. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, also leave it in the comment section below. I went X-2 with this. I lost against Hatch. Like, bro, it's funny because my teammate and I laugh. We're laughing like, bro, there's only one Hatch player. Who's gonna be that one random guy that plays against Hatch? You know, it was me. And this guy had like 8 or 12 in the games. It was just rough. And then the next one I lost was against it was against one of my local guys. So yeah, I gave him a deck build for Green Goku. It was Green Goku. The Green Goku that he was playing wasn't conventional Green Goku. It was a Green Goku that I didn't want people to see. So I'm kind of happy he had it, and he top cut as well. So shout out to him and his group, Vegeta's Army. Go make sure to go check that out. And in the PPG event, I played round 1, 2, 3. It was a quick wins. Round 4, I had to give the win because round 4, the round for Gamerz just started, and I was so upset and happy at the same time because the guy I know is cool. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't know if he's comfortable or not with it, but he did top playing Kidku, and the reason why I was salty is because when the deck list came out, he only played 2 power bears, dude. He was playing Kidku. I'm like, bro, that would have been the easiest match ever. Not because he's bad. He's an excellent player. He eliminated me in top 32 in, was it top 16? He eliminated top cut at the TOP event in February. So I'd have loved to play him. Once I saw him play Tuning, I was just sad. I'm like, dude, I had to give you the win because Gamer started, and I was X1, I believe, at the time, so I couldn't really take another loss in order to ensure top cut. And then I played, I think it was the 50th final round. I had to also just shotgun it as well because I could have just played pressure out of shotgun because the Gamerz event started. So realistically, this deck, if you don't see yellow, which I did not see in a PVG event, it's strong, guys. Like, it's really hard for you to lose these, especially if you just combo right. Like, the biggest thing about this is be situation aware of your opponent's board at all time and know what they can and can't do, like point blank period. And of course that random match. So love you guys. See you guys next time.